Welcome to Zim's Beer Review, a YouTube and podcast production presented by Anchor.fm. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Zim's Beer Review. I'm your host, Garrett Zimmer. We have a special, I guess not a special episode for Easter, but this is an Easter episode. This will be posted on Easter Sunday. So happy Easter, everybody. Hopefully everybody's at least being able to hang out with some friends and family during this crazy time we're in right now. The beer that we are going to be reviewing today, if you haven't seen already from the name of the episode or anything, is another Blacktooth Brewing Company beer. Blacktooth Brewing is out of Sheridan, Wyoming. They're one of my favorites. Being from Wyoming here, I drink this brewery quite a bit. I've never had this specific beer, which is why prompted me to do another episode with them. It's one of their newer ones. We'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, so Sheridan, Wyoming is where Blacktooth Brewing is headquarters. That's where they started in 2010. Like I said, we've covered multiple beers by Blacktooth Brewing in the past, so I'll mention some of those in just a minute to encourage you to go back and listen to some of them. If you're interested in knowing a little bit more about the brewery, I'm not going to cover all the same information that I have in the past ones, so just a heads up for everybody there. So Blacktooth Brewing actually started in Sheridan 2010. They started their system. It was only like a 10-barrel system, really small overall brewing capacity at the time. And since 2010, in the last 10 years, they've expanded to over 50,000 barrels system. So they're obviously expanding at a very rapid rate around here. They currently are only available in, I'd say, like the upper Rocky Mountain region, specifically Wyoming, Montana, and South Dakota. But hopefully they can keep expanding once they get to some of those other states. Hopefully more of you will be able to try some of these. I know that's kind of like a disadvantage to some of these podcasts, is that I'll review a beer that sounds really good to people, but it's not available everywhere. Oh, my light's moving here. It's not available to everybody everywhere, so they can't always go out and try the beers after they see the review. So hopefully it encourages them to at least check out the website and, kind of see other beers that they have, where they're available, maybe try and find some stuff like that. Anyways, so the beer we're doing today is Quick Draw. This is one of their new seasonal releases. They do quite a few seasonal releases. This is a brand new one this year. This is a Hazy IPA. We will open. Try not to spill this all over. Using our trusty Blacktooth Brewing pint glass, which they were nice enough to give me for some of these reviews. Very yellow in color, like bright yellow. I don't know if that's showing up on stream. Oop, it helps if I show you. If it's showing up very well on the stream. Very carbonated. Lots of head on this beer, but extremely hazy. If you've listened to some of the other podcasts in the past, I've mentioned hazy beers versus filtered beers. Hazy just means it's unfiltered during the brew process. You can do additives during the boil that actually will have some of the hops and the grain will coagulate and fall out of the beer, that then you can then filter and makes your beer much more clarity. I don't think personally it adds a whole lot of flavor one way or another. It's more of just a preference visually. Specifically, beer looks hazy. It used to be almost a negative thing. Now it's this big trend. There's a bunch of hazy beers going on right now. All the beers that I brew at home, I would consider hazy because I don't do any of the filtering process. I don't use any of those additives. So it's really just preference. If you did a blind taste test with the same beer, filtered and unfiltered, I'd be interested to see if you could even tell. I personally don't think you could, but it's super, just smelling, it's like super citrus. Like a lot of that citrus flavor and scent can come from the hops. Very floral, citrusy flavor. Not that bitter. Pretty light. I do enjoy it. It's like it's definitely a summery beer, I would say. It's this one, and I don't know if it's this one specifically. It almost comes across as like a little bit flat, and I don't think that's the flavor of the beer. I think that's my specific can that I have. Who knows if it was shaken up or fell, or I don't know. I would say right off the bat though, it seems a little bit flat. But I can't take that against the beer itself. It's got a really good flavor. Citrusy wise, it's what you want in an IPA. It's definitely what you'd want in like a seasonal, summery, floral IPA. This would be good for drinking through the summer months. Hopefully we're able to get outside more soon. Today, Easter Sunday, where I'm at, it actually snowed. So go figure, trying a seasonal beer specific for summer on a day that it's snowing, but go figure. So anyways, Blacktooth Brewing has multiple seasonal beers, but they mainly focus on their year-round beers. They have multiple year-round beers. The Saddle Bronc is a brown ale. The Bomber Mountain Ale, we actually have reviewed that on this channel. If you go back to episode 4, you can listen to that. It's an amber. Wagon Box Wheat, I've had that one, never reviewed it. It's just obviously a wheat beer. And Hot Streak IPA. That's another really good IPA. It is a filtered IPA, not hazy. It's got more of a bite to it. That's one of my favorite IPAs. I'd say head-to-head between these two, I probably prefer the Hot Streak, but I think that's more of just me saying that I like bitter, hoppier beers more, especially when I'm drinking an IPA. In addition to those beers that I mentioned that they have year-round, they recently added Copper Mule to their year-round slate of beers. So Copper Mule is a ginger lime cream ale. That's another one that we have reviewed on this channel. It was back on episode 31. I highly encourage you to go listen to that one. It's a very interesting beer, one of my favorite beers. All of my beers that I try, I post my review as well as give it a rating on untapped.com, which is kind of like a not quite Yelp, but it's a place that specific for beers. You can go and look up beers, see the average rating and everything. So that beer, the Blacktooth Copper Mule, is one of my highest rated beers that I've done on there. Very interesting. The ginger lime, it's a super, super good drinking summer beer. But like I said, they recently added that to their year-round slate. So if you're in this region, the Upper Rocky Mountain region, I encourage you to try some of their beers. And yeah, this beer that we're drinking today, this Hazy IPA Quick Draw, it's 5.7% alcohol, so kind of right in line with an IPA. I'd say that you can taste this one. This one doesn't hide its alcohol content like some other beers that we've had on the channel. Not that 5.7 is high, but there's been some beers that I've tried recently that have been over 6%, and you try them and it's just blows you away. This one, if I had to just blindly guess what the alcohol content was, I would probably guess somewhere between 5.5 and 6. It's kind of just where it's exactly what it is. So right now what we're going to do is pull up their website here in just a minute. And here we go. Okay, so if you're watching the YouTube version of the podcast, you can see the Blacktooth Brewing Company website right here. Their website is blacktoothbrewingcompany.com. So this is, if you're interested in their beers, I encourage you to go down to here. They have a link on their website called Beer Finder. You enter in your zip code and it will show all of the liquor stores and bars in your area that carry Blacktooth Brewing beers. So if there's one that you want, even if you don't live in those states, you could still search it and see what the closest place is. You may have to go over a state, but you could get the closest place. You also can go through and look at all of their beers on here and see what they have. We'll load this up. See, here's their year-round beers. This is the Copper Mule I was mentioning. They don't have anything on their website yet for Quick Draw. This is that new. It's very new. I just saw it in stores probably 2 weeks ago. I don't know when exactly they got it out, but it's definitely a new beer. So you're not going to see Quick Draw on here, unfortunately. I think they're probably working on that. But on their website that you can go through and check out all their stuff as far as the background of their brewery, where they started and everything. And then you can even go and buy some merchandise. I think they have a really cool logo. This Blacktooth Brewing logo looks kind of like a buffalo head. I encourage you to take a look if you're just listening to the podcast, to look up Blacktooth Brewing Company. They have a really awesome logo for the Wyoming region. I think that the buffalo head kind of matches, and it has the BTB for their company just hidden right in the logo. But yeah, so anyways, I encourage everyone to go take a look at Blacktooth Brewing's website, try some of their beers. Quick Draw IPA. This is a hazy IPA, like I said. I enjoy it. It's pretty good. I don't think it's their best IPA that they've done, but it's more of a summery IPA. It's a slightly lighter, and it would lead well to a patio sitting evening with friends outside. So I think it's a good beer. Not to discourage anyone from trying it. I do enjoy it. And yeah, so thank you guys as always. I encourage you to please take a look at our YouTube channel. We have all of our reviews posted up on the YouTube. You can go through, watch any of them. You can search through here and find specific beers. You can search Blacktooth Brewing if you just want to watch all of our Blacktooth Brewing reviews and go through it that way. We also have playlists you can go on here and check out. We're currently going through our Hop Valley Brewing series. This will slowly get added to as we go. We do the Mystery Brew review with Shaverwood. We have a couple of those coming up in the future. And then we have the Battle of the Beers on here, which is where we like to do we'll take two beers head to head, like we've done the hard root beers. We did Not Your Father's root beer versus Coney Island root beer, and we do head-to-head. We've done two different gluten-free beers head-to-head. We have a plan to do I don't know if it'll probably be classified under Battle of the Brews, but it's probably going to end up being kind of like a bracket style is what we're thinking. Going through all of the different seltzer beers that are out there right now. Everybody is releasing a seltzer, it seems like right now. The first one I knew of was White Claw, and now there's, everything from White Claw to, I think, Corona even makes their own seltzer now. So we're going to do a whole bracket. My wife is going to be included on that. We're going to go through the bracket, pick which ones we think are the best, and we'll come to a champion on that. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, I highly encourage you guys to go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, follow the videos on there, and you won't be disappointed. There's lots to see on there. And please follow our Instagram page. We post sneak peeks of all of our upcoming beer reviews before they get posted, so you have an idea of what's coming. And yeah, so thank you everybody for tuning in. And we'll be back with another episode for our Hop Valley series coming in the next week. It will be posted by the end of this week. So anyways, thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you have a great Easter Sunday.